Hathare Guam, I'm Jason Salas. Welcome to the program. This is House to Home, where we teach you everything you need to know about making money off your real estate. And once again, our friends Liz and Gina from Remax Diamond Realty Guam have allowed us to take a field trip. So we have come downtown to their Hagåtña offices, and we are learning, ladies, about appraisal today from a true expert.
That's right.
All right, can't wait to get to it. Let's go into the conference room and find out from Howard Gutierrez what you need to know when you are getting your home ready.
Hi, we're here with Howard Gutierrez, one of our local appraisers. Last week we talked about how to increase your value. There was so much information that he provided to us that we felt it was important to expand on the discussion. So last week we talked about square footage, what pieces would, where the public can put more, where can they invest in their home to give it more value. So there's a few more things I know you wanted to cover.
Yeah. So if you're looking at, depending on if you're renovating an older home or if you're building a brand new home, you always got to think about what do people go for first. And we talked about last week, living area first. And then people think about, well, can I afford to put on that 1-car, 2-car carport, 2-car garage? Yeah. And then after garages, people usually start thinking, okay, well, I want to pave my sidewalks, my driveways. And then usually after they get all that done, then they start going into the fences and into the additional.
Excuse me, so are you saying paving the driveway, paving around the house, like having a walkway around the house?
Makes a difference.
You do add value for those
yes.
items?
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
Okay.
And it's anything that is viewed by the market usually has a good way of adding value.
So for example, if I put a sidewalk around my house and it costs, let's say, $10,000, will that add $10,000 to the value of my home?
Yes.
If I have the receipts and everything.
Yeah, normally with what we extract from the market, in return as far as walkways and driveways, they're usually on point with what you would actually pay for them. And that's because the market values these items. So if a market values the items, then you're more apt to get more value for them. But in terms of like, last week we were talking about exterior bedrooms, you know, rooms that are outside of the house. That's sort of something that the market likes, but it's not something that everyone goes for.
Yeah.
So when people are building new homes, it's not too often that you would see an exterior bedroom. So then that's where you don't get as much return.
Well, what about something like building a carport versus a garage? Nowadays, the garage seems to be more popular, but in terms of value, if both sizes were equal, is the garage more valuable because it's got the garage door or the carport, or do you see that as the market, as long as you have it?
No, there is a definite value difference. The garages do fetch more value in terms of comparing it to a carport.
And that's because the market would pay more for an item like that.
Yeah.
So here's the question. We're seeing more now that it's carport, but then they would put typhoon shutters. So it actually looks like a garage because the front is covered with typhoon shutters, the sides are covered with typhoon shutters. So how would you categorize that? Would there be value as if it would be a garage?
No, that would still be valued as a carport because certain amenities in terms of the full concrete walls and then not having to get out of your car to open up the shutters, go in and then shut it again.
Yeah.
So mainly when we see that on houses, it's more of a security.
So how about if, okay, the carport, I put concrete walls and it's only the front, the enclosure from the front is typhoon shutters. Okay, would that give it more value?
Then you start looking at a cost base. You know, because if you try and you already have the carport there, if you try and add on a typhoon shutter there, maybe around 2,000, 2,500. But then if you just went for the full garage door, maybe 5,000 for a double garage door. So that's that comes more of where you're going to put your money to. We would still call it a garage without garage doors in the appraisal. And there would be a difference on whether or not you had the actual garage doors.
Garage door.
Okay,
so you're saying that if I were to do that, to get the most for my value for my home, put in a garage door.
Yes.
Don't waste time getting the shutters, unless for me that's something I want. But in order to sell the home, I would get more value with the garage door.
If it's someone looking at selling and they have the
Have.
means to do one or the other, then of course you're saying you spend
Go
a
with the
little bit
garage
more, you're going to get a little bit more in value.
Exactly.
Okay. You know, the other question I have is, so now we're pretty much focused on the outside. Now we go inside, and this comes up often. Okay, I have a little bit of money, and Gina, I've got 5,000, 6,000, 10,000.
Where do I spend it?
Where do I spend it on the inside? What do you think,
Where
Howard?
would the preference be? The kitchen or the bathrooms?
Well, they always say men pay for homes, women buy homes.
That's it.
So
Wow.
kitchens,
We can
number one.
confirm that, yeah.
and bathrooms, number 2. After that, then you want to start looking at what's on the flooring.
Yeah.
And then in terms of what's inside the house, you want to put your money in your kitchen first, your bathroom second. After that, you can start looking at things like baseboards around, crown molding.
Wow.
Then you want to go into custom interior doors. And then after that, if you got all of those, you can go into the custom closets. The further down you get, you don't want to have like ceramic countertops with plyboard cabinets and then go into a bedroom and see custom hardwood Home Depot or JK tile type of walk-in closets.
Yeah.
You want to
It's
put the
not
money
translating,
first
yeah.
in the kitchen, and then these things taper down.
Yeah.
So, you talked about baseboards. So if I have the vinyl baseboard versus, let's say, you talked about crown molding, and then let's say we did a wooden baseboard versus a ceramic, let's say the tile, because we're seeing it now where they would put the baseboard instead of the wood, they would put the ceramic, they would cut those pieces out. So that also makes a difference in terms of value.
In terms of whether or not it's ceramic versus actual wood, not as much, because it's actually a little more
It's more
time-consuming
aesthetics.
as far as cost.
Cost.
It actually costs a contractor more to do ceramic because
Yeah.
they're cutting
Yes.
individual
Yeah.
tiles, whereas one board could be put on. But with the market now, whereas maybe 5 years ago it was all ceramic, now
Yes.
it's all wood.
It's all wood.
Yes. And then they accentuate it with the molding.
Molded,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, you're really wonderful with the information.
I feel like we need to ask him.
ask more questions.
Yeah, we need a whole week of questions.
So
with
maybe
Howard.
we should put it out there into the public. If you have more questions, we'd love to have Howard come back again. So send your questions to KOAM, and we could
Or email us directly.
email us directly.
Yeah. Contact Remax Diamond Realty and we'll take care of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.